welcome to 108 Gate. This is Pisces reading. It's for whenever you come to this video, so it's not a particular set time. So let's see what is happening for you, Pisces. You are on the move. You're wanting to take steps forward. You're wanting to understand where is the next step. So some things are feeling a bit they're feeling a bit fuzzy. So the stepping forward is more to do with how do I step forward, where do I step forward more appropriately to make sure that I'm benefiting from this, making sure that I'm wrapping things up in a proper manner, making sure I'm wrapping things up in a particular way that's beneficial for self. So messages coming in, communication coming in. Some things are going to start moving quicker. Oh, okay. That just fell into my hand. So some things are going to be moving quicker than you anticipated, or because they're moving a bit quicker than you anticipated. It's like you've been waiting for so long for something to change, something to move, and then as it starts changing and moving, it's kind of like, whoa, tiger, like it's a bit too fast. But you can do this. You're ready for it. It's a matter of making sure that you're following the guidance, following the flow, following the gist of what's happening, because otherwise you're going to get yourself stuck into like worrying about, can I cope with this, can I manage all this, can I do it to the best level and capacity that I want to be doing it. So letting go of that stuff and more just focusing on is flowing now. So I'm seeing like a surfer, so you can get on your surfboard, you can predict, well, you can calculate like the waves are looking particularly great for surfing right now, but it's not until you get on the waves that you know how is your performance going to be. Do you take the correct wave or do you not take the correct wave? So it's about being sensitive as you are, sensitive to what is happening, sensitive to making sure that you're not making the same mistakes as before. So here's coming in some energy around something may be reminding you of when you were hurt or when you were taken for granted, or you're worried that that's going to happen again. There's another group that's kind of offshooting from there, that's they're feeling and sensing that someone's coming in to tear them down, or in the past they've come to tear them down and they may be reconnecting again. It's like you're taking that next big step, and that a similar kind of obstacle is coming in your face again. It's coming in your periphery. You can sense it's around you again, and that's making you a bit anxious. So as much as you're focused on here and wanting to do this, you can, it is somewhat justified that you're feeling a bit anxious about this, because it's making you this is coming in with a sense of wanting to disrupt you, or is disrupting you, even if it wants to or not. It doesn't seem to understand its impact on you. So you've got the bee and pomegranate, productivity. We need to work on this here. We need to work on keeping this flow coming in. You've worked so hard to get to this point, so hard to get to this message, so hard to get to this momentum that's going to be about to be pulling you forward and pulling you up. You don't want to lose it here. So we have the badger and ginkgo, healing wounds. There you go. So we want to and need to be feeling that process of how I'm drawn to how the stripes are going this way, and then the stripes are going that way, then the stripe on the badger is going that way, and the swords are going that way. So we need to be aware of how we are conducting ourselves when we are feeling worried, and on some level we were terrified at some point in the past maybe. So all those wounds that are coming up again, we need to be healing those wounds deeply. We need to be healing the fright or the threat that we're feeling. So there's like, it's not, even if the threat is not there, the memories of the threat, this could be nightmares that are coming up, or dreams that are reminding you of certain things, because you, again, your consciousness, your subconsciousness is pushing you into a new space, but your consciousness and subconsciousness is getting stuck in a similar situation that happened quite a while ago, because of the familiarity, because of the similarity. So it's about you moving forward, moving that step closer to where you should be heading. And a big part of that, it feels like here, is the productivity is going to come from you healing those wounds. So if you go into a space of worrying, a space of feeling that that threat is looming over you again. It's about you assessing, is it actually there, or am I just feeling it because it reminds me of something? And then coming over, overcoming that, and coming to a point of understanding that that threat isn't necessarily there. If it seems like it is there, or if it is presenting to be there and it is there, then it's a matter of finding a different strategy for dealing with it. So making it very, very clear that I'm not tolerating this, that I'm not the person who you were threatening before. I'm not the person who you were scaring and manipulating before. I'm a different version of myself. I am an improved and stronger version of myself. So then more so about communicating that. This communication is going to clear some of this then. But again, it's about you believing it and feeling it. So you've got to heal those wounds to make sure you genuinely, sincerely can feel it. So it's in your auric field. It's in the way you speak. It's in your tone. Right, so here we go. The Tower. Letting that hold over you, that manipulation that was happening in the past, letting that fall, letting that go. Even if it is there, it's the same person coming up and taunting you. It's like you take that time to stand up to the bully. You take that time to figure out a different strategy that works for you. In the past, you may have bowed down, or you may have kind of backed away from certain things, and it's like, well, that's you actually backing away from your opportunities. That's backing away from all the things you've been working towards. So you can't do that anymore. You actually need to go into that situation and face it. And the Tower falling there, like they're looking at the Tower falling, it may be that you were in situations where you failed, and I'm using that as a very loose term word, because failure is not always the way we perceive it. It's like, where do you learn from that? Where do you evolve and grow from that? Are you evolving and growing from that? And how can you do it this time? So that failure in the past is going to be a sense of, a source of, a insight of where you can grow and change, where you can become more of your authentic self-actualization process. So look at all the things that you have done, even if it's just on a week basis, on a daily basis, in the past month, in the past 3 months, in the past 6 months, in the past year. Take a bit of stock of, where have I improved with this? Where have I shifted and changed with this? This is going to possibly give you some momentum and some idea of how you can actually gauge that feeling of, actually, I did really well there. That's really interesting. I did this differently this time, and that's the outcome I had. So just so that you can take some stock of, how does it feel, that sensation of feeling more strong. How do you feel when you acknowledge you've actually accomplished something? It may not be the accomplishment that is over here that you want to be accomplishing, the bigger one, but it is a part of the accomplishment. It's as though if you're willing to work on this stepping stone here, the accomplishment is going to happen with a greater ease, with a greater sense of victory and achievement. So therefore you can then carry on with what you want to build. You focus on what you want to build, keep going and focus on what you want to build. If anything like this comes up that's stopping you from building, don't shy away from it. Face it, look at it, be that courageous person that you are, be that that strong, and it's just coming up really intensely that it's like you don't know your own strength at this point. Have some faith and trust in the process. Have some faith and trust in your strength, and trust that it'll come up when you need it. Trust it'll come up how you need it. So part of that is blind faith. So it feels like, well, I can't trust it because I don't know how it's going to come out. I can't trust it because I don't know what it's going to look like. Like I said originally here, it's gone full circle. It's feeling as though you're going to have to trust the process, and this is why it's important for you to have the sensation of your feelings, of what does it feel like to achieve something that's positive for you, because then you can use your feelings more of a gauge, more as a gauge of, is this the correct thing for me or not? Am I going to stay stuck in this feeling threatened and limited and restricted, or am I going to grow and go into that strength that I know I have, feeling to that strength that I can sense I have, I know I have, and I'm going to build it, build it, build it to be able to knock this tower over, or let the tower fall. Ace of Swords, the clarity that's going to come through from the healing of the wounds. It's really, like it says productivity here, it's not just productive you in your emotional stance, in your emotional space. It's also going to be therefore productive in you being able to physically focus on stuff that's of greater importance to you. I want to get one here because we want to annihilate that, like we want to focus it with strength and make sure that we're not letting it linger, because we really do need to be clearing some of this stuff out. Like I say, Queen of Wands, that feminine energy of just go to that emotional strong space of where you know you can conquer this, you can feel you can conquer this. Acknowledge your past, acknowledge your victories, acknowledge your achievements, every tiny one of them. Every single tiny one of them. If you have, like, I don't know why this is coming up, but a fear of the phone, and or a fear of communicating with a particular person or a particular way or a particular group, and you kind of found a way of doing that, acknowledge that achievement. Is not a small achievement, because these small what seem like small victories are going to lead to bigger victories and stronger victories. So it's really important that you take note of all those tiny things that you took a step forward, even if it's 2 steps back. Sometimes it's that getting your foot in and getting the strength. You're making progress, making sure you acknowledge that progress, Pisces. So for now, like I said, these readings are going to be coming up cyclically now. I'm not doing it in a particular month. It's literally when you come to the reading, it's going to be for your benefit. If it's not, then maybe have a look at your chart, or have a look in the playlist as well. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe and hit that bell. Until next time, peace and love.